This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Give us a call with your idea of what the most un-Australian thing is that's going on in the suburbs where you live, right?
Okay.
This is broken out online, and there's a lot of debate about whether it's un-Australian or whether it's the most Australian thing of all. Mm-hmm. There's a photo, and this is probably happening out the front of your place. There's a photo of a house, or two houses, maybe three in the street, and out on the median strip, there's the lawn, and part of the lawn has been mowed directly out the front of a house, because I'm guessing that's the person who have done their lawns that weekend, and they have only mowed as far as their property goes, even though the median strip and the strip of lawn is continuous, but in the centre, they've purely just mowed their median strip lawn.
Okay.
I don't know. Is it un-Australian, or does it actually represent what we're all about, which is I'm not mowing old mate's lawn.
Your lawn, mate.
You get out there and do it.
Can I go on, Ryan?
You know what I was just going to say. Now, we don't know the background of this. If this was the first time that it's ever happened, I can understand it's ridiculous. But if this has been an ongoing thing, Kate, so I understand if you're going to help. You could mow the next door neighbour's lawn. That little bit, you can do that for the first time. But if you're not getting it back in return, it gets to a point where you put your foot down and go, well, I'm not doing yours anymore.
Yeah.
Can I ask?
You have a bit of a tantrum.
In this un-Australian story, how much lawn is left on their side? Like, how is it just as much as they've already mowed that they'd need to mow?
It would be identical.
Is it identical, or is it
so
just
maybe
a little bit?
The frontage on the property might be like 10 metres or something like that.
I think.
Like a smallish home, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's un-Australian. You've got to mow your neighbour's lawn.
Can I say something, though? I have also been part of a discussion where some people don't like you mowing their median strip because they have their very particular way of mowing.
Of doing their strip.
They do it at their time. Their schedule of mowing might not fall in with yours. So then their front median strip lawn and their back lawn or something may be growing at different intervals. And then, God forbid, you go out there and you mow it too low and it's summer and then the grass dies.
Can I suggest something absolutely crazy here? Hey, Steve, I'm just doing the front lawn. You want me to do your nature strip as well?
No.
That'd be great, mate. Thanks.
Yeah, or don't worry, mate, I'm doing it on Saturday.
And then it's
Too
worked
hard.
out very clearly. Good on you, Gary. No worries, Steve. See you, Ian.
We've got a shared garage, right? We're in a strata building in Balmain, right? And underneath the leaves, when the wind picks up, a lot of the leaves come down into the garage.
Yep.
So when I blow them up, right, so I get the blower out and I suck them up, I do everybody. You've got to do everybody. You can't just do yours and yours is just free of leaves. You've got to do everybody.
Well, especially with leaves. Firstly, I don't understand blowers. If they suck the leaves, great. If they're blowing the leaves, I don't understand blowers at all, because you're just blowing your problem into someone else's life.
No, but you can blow it into a pile.
And no one does that.
Oh, look at her.
No one
no,
does
she's
it.
cracked
You know what they do? They stand out the front of their house and they blow their leaves just to the part of their lawn, the next door neighbour's lawn that you haven't bothered to mow.
I actually bought a blower and sucker in one. Stacey in Glenwood, hello.
Hey, how you going?
Good, Stacey.
What do you think, Stace?
Guys, come on, it's the great lawn debate.
What do you reckon?
So Australian to, well, I reckon it is. I constantly struggle with my neighbour. So we share a median strip. We've both got a metre on each side, and I refuse to mow theirs because it's covered in weeds, and mine's perfect.
Yeah,
I go as far as to edge a line between the lawns so that their weeds won't encroach on my side.
You're a stinker. You've got to do it, because I think if you do it, it just sets a good tone for your neighbourhood relationship.
Yeah.
So the next thing you know...
It's a silent handshake, isn't it, in some ways?
Do you know, I kicked the footy over the fence the other day, and then Susu was in the backyard. She kicked it back and then threw a couple of lemons over for the salad that night. Because I do Susu's strip on the weekend.
She left already.
You do.
Can we go to Jason in Belrose? He's a Kiwi. What do you think of this Australian act, Jason?
Oh, it's totally un-Australian.
Well done.
What,
Totally.
You think everyone should be mowing each other's lawn, cutting each other's grass?
It's just the neighbourly thing to do. I moved across, mowed my neighbour's lawn the first time I did mine. He came out as I was finishing up and looked at me, shook his head, and hasn't really spoken to me since.
Well done.
And he's a true blue Aussie.
Is that because you're a Kiwi, Jace?
Well, look, I do get that, but I've grown to just accept that and move on.
You don't cross the ditch and you don't cross my patch of lawn.
You might have to cut his grass in other ways, Jace, if you know what I mean. Lana in Collaroy, you're experiencing the exact same issue.
Exactly the same. So our neighbour on the right doesn't mow our half of the nature strip, even though it's 3x3.
Mm-hmm.
And so I make sure that I mow his just to prove a point that I am.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
I think that's a lovely way of handling it, Lana.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe pouring a bit of Roundup into a D and B into their lawn might help them cut it.
Well, it looks like some of your lawn's died. It's in the shape of a... Oh, that is awesome.
Fits in Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.